1106 and Icebreaker Marathon in a new venue today. I was researching today about the most talked about topics in 2018 and Google says it is net neutrality, artificial intelligence, data security and Donald Trump. How many of you would agree with this? I kind of agree too, but I feel all conversations, or at least most of them, eventually tend towards politics, religion, and depending on the group and audience sex. If you're all wondering if there are any other topics more entertaining than these, you're all in the right place today. At Toastmasters, we are fabian about talking about sex, religion, and politics. Good luck to all the speakers for giving their icebreaker marathons today. Since it's a new venue, can we try something new today? Can we all tap our feet when we hear the word of the day, which is fabian? Thank you. To do that, we need to be attentive. And to be attentive, can I please request all of you to switch your phones on silent mode? And to also refrain from walking in or out of the room. And if you do have to do that, can you do that only during the applause and not when a speaker is speaking on stage? Thank you. Thank you. Today's theme is do not wait to become a master to begin to become a master. We have amongst us a Toastmaster who I believe does not believe in leadership as a title but believes in it as a mindset. We have heard a lot of stories from him. Some entertaining, few educative and a lot more informative. To listen, I'm very eager to see what he has to tell us today about the theme of the day. Over to the President of Bangalore Toastmasters Club, Toastmaster Milind.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening.
Welcome to meeting number 1106 of Bangalore Toastmasters Club. I think we don't need this kind of sound box. So how many of you are the guests here of Bangalore Toastmasters Club? Thank you very much. And how many of you are coming for the first time to Bangalore Toastmasters? Can you quickly raise and tell your name and how did you land up here in Bangalore Toastmasters Club? Sorry. Thank you very much. And I request my committee members to kindly stand up. And dear guests, these are our committee members. You have any queries, any doubts, you can reach out to them during the break time and they'll be ready to help you. Thank you very much. Please sit down. And the minutes of the meeting was circulated some time back. And I hope all of you have gone through the videos. If there is any corrections to be made in the videos, the way you spoke, you can always get in touch. Yeah, just joking. But I hope the minutes are okay. And for that wonderful job, which week after week is being done by our Secretary Soumya Raman. Dear members, how do we appreciate this work? And members and guests, please note that your speeches will be recorded and would be uploaded on YouTube. If any member or guests don't want it to be done, kindly get in touch with the secretary and she will ensure that it is not uploaded. Otherwise, by default, or Abhay. Abhay, raise your hand so that everybody knows. Yeah, Abhay. So he'll ensure that it is not uploaded based on your request and your privacy rights are protected. Thank you, Abhay, for that wonderful responsibility. And what do we give Abhay? A big round. today's theme basically means just do it. I mean, that's what I guess, though it's a very complicated long sentence. But to me, it means if you want to be a master in anything, you should start doing it right now. And as Soumya was mentioning that I like to tell stories. Most of them came from China, but today I thought, let me talk about a story, personal story. And all my stories are my personal experience, nothing from any of the books. So this is about when I finished my education and joined my company first. Larsen & Toubro was a big company, corporate, and when I joined as an executive, I had about 5 people, unionized staff working under me. Now, they were experienced staff. So normally you would have seen in a corporate culture that somebody new comes in, there is a resistance to change, always. And as a young person who is joining, if you're not taught how to handle the changes, you are in for a soup. That's what I experienced. So when I joined, and 5 unionized staff were reporting. Unionized staff means people who are part of a union. So they have a strength behind them. And I was coming from an executive executive cadre. Now, as the days went by, I could feel the resistance happening. They did not like me. They didn't want me to be there. I could sense it. And it erupted with one tall guy by name Murali. He one day stood up and said, Nitin, I don't care. I don't think you know anything about this job. You are a stupid executive. And this, he made a statement in front of the whole accounts department. There were about 40-41 guys in the department. I was shocked and taken aback. My immediate reaction is to fight because it was young blood. But then I said, no, I will not. There should be a method by which I need to handle this change. And then I studied this guy, what kind of person he is. What is his weak point? Now this is what I think we need to know when you come across a situation. You need to understand the weak points of the other person if you want to manage well. I realized he was one of the most wonderful workers. He loved to work. He wanted to do things by his own hand. He was an expert in whatever he was doing. He didn't want a threat to his job. And I was not a threat. I didn't know anything I was doing, right? But I realized this weakness. And those days, there was no computers. The mails used to come, the physical mail used to come, and everybody has an in-tray and out-tray. The mail will come, he processes, and it goes in the out-tray. Similarly, all the mails will come to me, I process and give it all the 5 guys for working. Now this guy I stopped. I stopped the out-tray for this guy, alone. All of the guys went. I could see his uneasiness first day. He was uncomfortable because no work was coming in. And then I decided to soil my hands, take those mails and handle myself. I was a chartered accountant. Conceptually I was good, but practically I was zero. And that was an opportunity given to me to work in practice. Only that guy's work I started doing. 1 week went by, this guy went bonkers. He didn't know what was happening. Every day he comes doing nothing. I'm not talking to him. I'm saying hello, good morning, have coffee, tea. On the 7th day he went to the boss of the department and said, something is going wrong. Did Nitin come to you? Boss said, no, what's happening? Now that is the second shocker to him. I had not complained. He was taken aback. He knew there was a guy whom he is finding it difficult to handle, because I was doing it out of it. But the 7 days made a big difference. That is where I learned, if you soil your hands, you will become an expert. On the 8th day, when he was talking about any job, about his area, I knew everything. So my dear friends, there are a few things we need to do if we want to develop an expertise. The first and the foremost, you need to be conceptually clear of what you want to do. You need to have the passion and the desire to do that. That is the first and the foremost. The second, you need to go and soil your hands. You need to work. It's not, you just can't theoretically learn. Like the way Toastmasters does it here, you need to come here and speak. Theoretically, you might know so many things, how to speak, but unless you come here, speak and get the feedback, I don't think anything will happen. That is the second step. The third step, you need to interact with people who are in the same field, because you may not know everything in your field. You might come to Toastmasters, speak so many things, unless you go out to other Toastmasters club and speak, or meet your friends in Toastmasters and learn what is your weakness, you will not know. That is where the evaluation comes into play in Toastmasters. Fourth one is, the world today is in your hand. You can ask any information, it comes on your palm. Google your requirements if you want to learn more. If you want to be an expert in your field, there's so many things, videos, TEDx, 100 things you can do. I'm talking about Toastmasters. Similarly, you have many other areas. And the last but not the least is develop your confidence. You might be an expert in anything you have, but unless you have a confidence. Why do you need a confidence? Because ultimately you need to give back to the society what you learned. And if you want to give back to the society, you need to develop a confidence. So ultimately, you need to work on getting a confidence. And if, in my opinion, once you have all this, you are a complete expert. And to achieve that, you need to start doing somewhere. And today's Toastmaster is one who started the journey like that, who has taken success and failure in her stride. She is a student of business. She does yoga, loves spirituality, and many times keep wondering what life is all about, what Toastmasters is all about. Now, she is an expert Toastmaster. She's one of our veteran Toastmaster, and today we are happy to have her. She's also a co-founder of a rental management portal called propertyangel.in. If you have time, you can go into that and see there are a lot of things, and you can always give her a feedback. And so for today's meeting, to conduct the meeting, the Toastmaster of the day, please put your hands together to welcome Toastmaster Sapna.
Good evening, Toastmasters and guests.
Good evening.
So last night I was reading this book called Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell. Has anyone here read the book? A few people. So you know what I'm referring to. Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell. Outliers. So in the book he talks about the 10,000 hour rule, where he says, that to become a master at something, you need to practice for at least 10,000 hours. So this got me thinking back to my life, a situation when I was a kid. I was in the 3rd grade and a pretty average student. Even in math, I was pretty average. But my mom was a math whiz. So she could not digest the fact that her own daughter was such an average student. So as you can imagine, what she made me do was practice. 10,000 hours would be stretching it. I mean, if she had made me practice, I would be some sort of genius by now, so that didn't happen. But so much so that by the 4th grade, I was topping the class. Not only was I topping the class, I was also correcting the teachers. And not only was I doing that, I also came to a point where I didn't feel that I needed to practice that much anymore. So to me, that 3rd grade practice was like the tipping point, and there was no looking back. So that, of course, worked out very well. I didn't have a choice. My mom said study, and I had no choice but to follow her instructions. But more often than not, when we have the choice, but we are the inertia, there's a lot of inertia to take that first step and commit to that many hours of hard work. Why? Because we are afraid of failure. We are afraid that what if we put in that many hours of hard work and we still fail? What will people say? Right? In fact, we are so overly and illogically concerned about what other people will think that public speaking is what people fear the most in their lives, according to many studies. In fact, they fear public speaking more than death. So can you make that comparison? I mean, that itself is very bizarre. You have public speaking and you have death. And to deal with this innate fear of public speaking is the founder of the Toastmasters movement, Ralph C. Smedley, decided to address this and set up the organization about more than 100 years ago. So the first meeting was held in 1905 in California. Since then we've come to about more than 140 countries. There are 16,000 clubs. And even today, so it's been a remarkable growth, right? And even today, the structure of the meeting is not very different from how it was when it started. So we have 3 sessions. We start with a prepared speeches session, then we have impromptu speaking, and finally an evaluation. Leading an evaluation session is a role taker called the general evaluator. So today's general evaluator is none other than the legendary Toastmaster Vijay Anand. He's one of the stars of our club. Huge fan following. In fact, I've been told a lot of people join the club to hear him speak. He is king of humor. But although today he has a more serious role, but I'm sure he'll have us in spits even then. So please join me in welcoming Toastmaster Vijay Anand. Would you like to
Thank you, Sapna, for those kind words. For the guests who come for the first time, General Evaluator, the powers used by Toastmasters, this individual keeps track of the entire meeting. 2 things: what went on well, and which areas we could perhaps pull up our socks, get our act together. And I would be ably assisted by 3 people, what we call tag team, which is there at the board. Time manager, Nikhil, could you briefly spell out your role, please?
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. As a timer, it is my duty to time and record the duration of the entire meeting and its individual parts. For today's meeting, the speeches, icebreaker speeches, are 5 to 7 minutes in duration. At 5 minutes, I will hold up the green card. 6 minutes, I will hold the yellow card. And at 7 minutes, I will hold the red card. I will for the table topics, the time is 1 to 2 minutes. At 1 minute, I will hold up the green card. At 1.5 minutes, I will hold up the yellow card. And at 2 minutes, I will hold up the green card. At the end of meeting, I will give my report to the general evaluator and submit to the club secretary in order to become the part of permanent record. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Be listening very carefully for the use of vocal pauses and clutch words such as no, and repetitive words or phrases. I'll keep track of everyone and report at the end of the meeting on who's best controlled their use of filler words. This evaluation starts at the beginning of the meeting and ends at the adjournment.
Thank you, Rahul.
As grammarian, I'll be keeping track of the good use of the language as well as the not so good usage. And my other responsibility is to introduce the oral way, which is failure. Failure is an adjective that means having a tendency to delay things or avoid direct confrontation. A possible use of the sentence could be: a Fabian king, instead of fighting out his enemy head on, allowed the rain to wear out his enemy's army. I'll also be keeping track of the people who use the oral way.
Back to the Toastmaster.
We will begin the prepared speeches. All of the speakers today are giving their CC1, which is the first speech that any Toastmaster gives in this club, where they introduce themselves. I will not introduce the speakers because they will introduce themselves. I will only read out the speech title and introduce the evaluator. The evaluator for the first speech is Toastmaster Balchandran. Can you please read out the guidelines?
I Toastmaster today, Toastmaster Sapna, and our fellow Toastmasters and all the esteemed guests who are come today. We have 5 speakers today, and all of them have decided to begin today to be a master tomorrow. by beginning their journey of Toastmasters, and they are all going to speak on the first project as per the CC manual, that is the Competent Communicators Manual, and the first project is titled as the Icebreaker. Now let's understand quickly what are the objectives of Icebreaker. Broadly, there are two objectives. The first one is they are taking the courage to come and stand in front of us and they're going to start talking. The second thing is, in the process, they learn the hidden speaking skills within them and also the areas of improvement so that they can become a better speaker tomorrow. These are broadly the two guidelines. And the best part is, all of them are going to talk about the same subject because they're all going to talk about themselves. And as the POD has already said, it's going to be more of an introductory talk. And being the first project, they are allowed to use some notes if required. They can use some supporting lines. Otherwise, we are going to have an enthralling session of Toastmasters, Icebreakers. And with that, I wish good luck to all the speakers and wish to hand over the podium back to the Toastmasters.
Thank you. So the first speech is titled Lessons. The speech title is Lessons. Please join me to welcome Toastmaster Kunal Belia.
Martin Luther King Jr. said, "The ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in the time of comfort and convenience, but where he stands in the time of challenge and controversy." Distinguished guests and fellow Toastmasters, I will be sharing the 3 lessons that I have learned from my life. These lessons are: challenges that we face in the past are what make us today. Express yourself when you have time to your loved ones. Take care of the relationships that you have in your life, because nothing else matters. These 3 lessons coming out from my life. Story of my life goes like this. A January night, the doctor was discussing in Government Medical College Nagpur with her professor. Professor was pacifying her that everything will be alright, everything will go smoothly. A couple of days later, a 3.5 kg bug was delivered from a planned cesarean operation on 27th January. Had they done it a day earlier, I would have got a national holiday from the school. That didn't happen. It was a holiday in the hospital as well. As a child, I was quite happy and healthy child. I would gladly go with anyone who would pick me up and take me around the holiday. But they would quickly return me to my mom, saying, "Your child is too heavy." I started to speak and walk quite early. For the first birthday party that my parents threw, I was going around the staff and meeting people, asking them, "What are you doing? What is this? What is that?" Around 9 or 10 years old, I started having health problems, swelling in joints and difficulty walking. Turns out I developed juvenile arthritis. I missed a lot of school because of that. A year between 5th and 6th, half a year of absent in 9th standard. School had to be persuaded that this kid will pass the 10th standard because they were quite concerned about their 10th standard results. Around this time, my father was having health problems of his own. He was admitted when I was in 10th standard, December 98. He was admitted for a month in Chandrapur for the treatment of cirrhosis. Doctor referred him to a bigger hospital in Nagpur. The journey was around 2.5 hours long. He was quite restless in ambulance, asking to move the arms, move the legs, bend it, keep it straight. Along the journey though, we started to become quiet. Before we reached our destination, his journey ended. Now, I was in 10th standard that time, 3 months before the exam. I did quite decently in that exam in spite of this incident. Being spending a lot of time in the hospital as my mom is a doctor and I was also having a problems of my own. I was quite fascinated with the medical field. I wanted to become a doctor. But my mom was dead set on this. She did not want me to become a doctor, saying you are not physically capable of having the endurance of that profession. So I became an engineer, my father's profession. I did my diploma in computer science from Nagpur. I did my engineering in computer science from Sangli. I came to this beautiful city, Bangalore, in 2006 after that. My struggles were still going on with arthritis and joint pain. But I was able to do my job. 2010 August around, I had a hip replacement surgery. That was a life-changing moment for me because my problems ended there. So these are the incidents from my life which made me a person who I am. I value health, fitness a lot. Because of my absenteeism, I was afraid of my other kids from my class and college. I became underconfident, introvert or shy, you might say. These are the things, the challenges that made me who I am. The challenges that we face in our life make us the likes, the dislikes, passions, the desires, our personality, confident, attacking the problems head on, or Fabian. Other problem was, since I was quite introvert, I did not have a lot of friends. This, not having friends, makes me value the relationship that I have a lot more. We need to value the relationship, the friends, the family, other loved ones that we have in our life. Because the relationship don't just die off from external reasons. They usually die from our neglect and inaction. We need to work on it. If we just leave it, it will end. When my father passed away, I was a silent and not very expressive person. I never did really express to him how much I love him. That is another lesson. Be expressive. Express your emotions and the feeling when you have them in the moment. We look at life as if it's a very long journey. But life is lived in moments. When you are feeling love, anger, hate, irritation, annoyance, dislike, anything with the people who are close to you, tell them. They are not going to know that. Life is not really good. So friends, these are the lessons from my life. These are the things I have learned looking back. What have you learned from it?
Relationships is what is most challenging. Moving on to the second speech, the title is I Came, I Saw, I Conquered. The evaluator is Toastmaster Richard D'Souza, and please join me in welcoming Toastmaster Shashank Kutbu.
We were waiting downstairs for the hall. Our secretary asked me, are you excited or nervous? So I'm both excited and nervous. But I'm something more than excited and nervous. I'm sleepy and I totally did not blame the weather for that. How many of you like the weather today? I love the weather too. So I was born and brought up in Bangalore here, and for my primary education I went to Andhra to a boarding school. I was there till my 10th standard over there, and I came back for my PU here, and currently I'm doing engineering in PES University. When Vidi Vici, I came, I saw, I conquered. Words of the great Julius Caesar. I think these words apply to me. So in my boarding school, every year we had this event where all the students under the organization came together and gave many performances. It was an annual event. So the performances ranged from dance and drama to gymnastics and motorcycle stunts. So in my 9th grade, there was this event called Malkham. So it's a sport where people do gymnastics on a wooden pole. So I badly wanted to be a part of this event, and I had made my mind up. Problem was, my feet and my palms were sweaty, so I cannot get a grip around the pole. But I made up my mind, and the day of the selections came, and I didn't know how I would tackle this challenge. But the mind works in wonderful ways when you want something really badly. So my turn came, and to get selected you had to climb a 8-foot pole. So when I went there, without my knowledge, the right of my foot went on the left side of the pole, and the left of my foot went on the right side of the pole. And I climbed the pole like a monkey. I not only climbed the 8-foot pole that day, I climbed also the 21-foot pole which was there. So that day I learned, if I wanted something, I really could get it. And then boarding school, not the best of places, they are very strict over there. But you do make a lot of memories. For example, in my 6th standard, we were banned from playing Holi. So we took sketch pens, drained the ink, put it in water, and we played Holi. We were punished by and made to stand in the corridor with our towels in front of all the girls. But you do learn a lot of lessons over there, like speaking the truth and being disciplined, and you learn the importance of all that. For example, when someone did a mistake, we would all come together and defend them and lie about it. But then there were a lot of us, and sometimes it got out of hand. There were many versions of the story, and at these kind of moments you learn it's very simple to tell the truth, and it's very effective. In my 11th and 12th grade, I wasn't particularly successful, and I was thinking, why didn't I get the things I wanted? So I started reading a lot of books, and it helped me in some ways. So there's this book I read called The Subtle Art of Not Giving Up by Mark Mason. So it's a really nice book. I recommend you all read it. Coming up with this speech was not easy for me because I choose not to remember my past because it kind of makes me sad and I miss it. So it's like a hindrance to going forward. So when I was thinking of the events that happened in my past, I remembered this Malcolm event. And I thought, what happened to me? Where did I go wrong? And then I remembered, I never got the things I wanted. I got the things I love. I love doing things and I put my heart to what I wanted. So it was never Vini Vidi Vici. It was Vini Vidi Amavi. I came, I saw, I loved. Over to you.
Brought back a lot of memories from my own boarding school, all the ragging that I had to go through. We move on to the third speaker. The speech is titled Let's Turn the Page. The evaluator is Toastmaster Vivek Vijayan, and the speaker is Toastmaster Sudeep or Bansi.
I am a loud Punjabi, born on a farm with lush sunflowers smiling in the sun. In the evenings every day, we would have a meeting, not something as big as this, maybe halfway. We gathered around the crackling courtyard bonfire in the winters and on the breezy terrace in the summers, and even days like this. Why on days like this? Because this makes for a perfect opportunity for some rain dance. What kind of rain dance? Rain Bhangra. Butter chicken, dal makhani, paneer tikka, paranthe and lassi was every meal I ate. That was childhood for me. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, there is only one fact in all of it. I am a loud Punjabi. Born in a nuclear middle-class family in the heart of the city, my vegetarian mother Paramji made sure that meat and even eggs were a rare treat for Dr. Dad Baldev, my super sister Supreet, and yours truly. My father doesn't drink at all. Neither does my equally Punjabi husband Avinda. Growing up, I was too shy to dance. But I will admit that today, an authentic Punjabi beat plays, and my shoulders involuntarily start bouncing. If my life were a book, that would be the prologue. The page you might read in the bookstore, which makes you pick the book up and take it home. Let's turn the page and begin. Chapter 1 starts with a confession. I am an engineer. Became one. Because that's what Indian kids do. But still, that one turn in the road to Thabur University, Patiala, is what gave me the best things in my life. What I learned within the classroom and outside, rehearsing plays in the auditorium, planning pranks in the hostel, and thrift shopping in the royal city of Patiala. That's what gave me my closest friendships, my passions, my attitudes. And what do we call an engineer who grows up? Anybody know? Let me tell you. They're called an MBA. So that's what I did too. Straight after graduation, I dove headfirst into business school. FMS Delhi University. This is when I lived outside Punjab for the first time in my life, immersing myself in the colors of India in a whole new way. Another 2 of the most exciting years of my life, and I, like most Tier 1 campus MBAs, ended up in a corporate job. The most coveted one on campus. Hindustan Unilever Limited. With brands from Lakme to Dove, Kisan to Surf Excel, India's largest FMCG company. Running a management training program, dare I say at par with the civil services. In this very exciting job, very sought after, very prestigious, for 2.5 years, I did something fascinating. Selling soap. I'm kidding, it actually was quite fascinating. HUL is rightly known as the CEO factory. In my first job ever, quite similar to Toastmaster Nitin, I was leading a team of people who each had more years of experience than my lifetime. I was asked to set up and run a new sales ecosystem, part of a multi-million euro global project. After a very rocky first year, lot of highs and lows, mostly lows, the challenges slowly morphed into clockwork by year 2. The recognition started pouring in, the awards came in, I was in a great place. And that's when opportunity came banging at my door one day. My best friends from engineering had started making ad films full-time. They asked me to come in and handle the business side of things. I ruminated on the decision for a while, sought advice, drew pros cons charts, or at least pretended to, because I was already sold. I was going to leave on a high to embark on the biggest adventure of my life. And that's my job today, as my own boss. While my partners writes and directs fabulous ads leading the client's business objectives. And somehow, these ads can't stop winning awards either. The other one takes care of everything from handling the production budget, casting the right actors, and renting the right shoot locations, to name a few. I am the face of the company to prospects and clients and handle marketing, strategy, and business development. Actually, I might have skipped a few pages there. Let me tell you what I like to do outside of work. I'm a tech geek and Twitter addict. I love to travel to explore new food and people. I really enjoy photography and I love reading and writing. Definitely not doing enough of that, but still. Back to the next chapter. This chapter started on 13th April 2018. Do you know why? That's when I got inducted into Bangalore Toastmasters Club. The first time I stepped onto not this stage, but a different stage very close to us. I'm very excited that I'm about to start a new chapter of my life with all of you and a lot of other people too. And I think this might just be the most exciting part of the book. What do you think?
Yes.
Back to you.
Amazing journey, and I'm sure it will be a very exciting page and book maybe. Okay, moving on to our fourth speaker of the day. The evaluator is Toastmaster Karunakar Dev, and the title is Journey from a Heritage City to a High-Tech City. The speaker is Toastmaster Omesha.
English is here.
Evaluators.
Meet is the evaluator, and the title, like I said, is Journey from a Heritage City to a High-Tech City. Please help me welcome Toastmaster Omesha Basanta.
The great Greek philosopher says, the only thing that is constant in our life is change. So, fellow Toastmaster and my dear guest, very good evening.
Good evening.
So I born to humble parents. My father, Baswarajappa, is a school teacher, and my mother, housewife. So we are living in a very, they call me as Umesh. We living in a small village. It is very close to heritage city of Karnataka. So this is also called one of the world second oldest city of medieval age. So any guess?
Hampi.
Yes, it is none other than Hampi. So it's a beautiful city, and if not visited, so I request you can plan to visit for that. So we enjoyed our childhood there, and we had a fun, and we completed our primary education in the same city. It's not a big city, so we are able to complete our primary education. So after that, for the high school, we have to go for another place. So it is for almost 3-4 kilometers we have to walk. So then our parents are decided, so walking is a waste of time. Then they decided to put us in a boarding school. So we have 4 siblings. I have elder sister and brother, and one younger sister. So my brother has started his education in high school, in a boarding school, and he was a studious and hardworking than me. I was pampered, and I didn't get much attention on my studies. So as soon as his journey started in a boarding school, and he completed his secondary school, and I followed him, and I also joined in the same boarding school. The life went on, and we completed our PU education. Because of his hard working, he is able to land up in a medical school. But with my less effort, I am able to land in another field, and that is engineering. So for me, there is no choice. For him, there was a choice. He can choose engineering or medical. So for me, there is only choice I have to take and move forward. So after completion of my engineering, my parents is again worried. So what is your next? Do you want to go for further studies or to take any job? So that time, so I decided to take a job because my parents got retired from job. So they are depending on my brother's income. So then I came to the city. That is where I am standing now. It is a high-tech city. So here started my journey, and with a little effort, and I am able to secure a job in one of the small firms where I can begin my career. So with that, I went on, and it was going well. After a year, so with some issue in the organization, so it went shut down. So then again back to square one. So here I was staying with a few friends in the city, and some of my friends is having the same situation like me, and we discussed together, so what is the next choice? Then we decided to go for higher education. So then I took it one college entrance exam, and we succeeded in the exam, and we were able to get the admission in that school. So that school is none other than GTNTC in Bangalore. We successfully completed with the help of my brother's support and my parents' blessings. After that, again a tough job market. So somehow I managed to secure a job in Delhi, I have to relocate to Delhi and located there, and I started my new career in Delhi. So from there it went on, and in the meantime my parents were looking for a marriage and asked me to get into wedlock. So then I got a beautiful lady, a beautiful girl. She entered me in life, and from then complete life is got changed. So from then, here one after the other we are able to get a good news. So I got a good news from my wife, and also got a good news from my professional career. So I got an opportunity to move back to Bangalore to start my another career in Bangalore. Soon after I started my career in Bangalore, so manager asked me, can you travel to US? That was a great opportunity. That times, everybody's dream was to go to US. So then I didn't say no, and I accepted the offer. And soon after my baby arrival, after 15 days I started traveling to US. I flew to US with my colleague. We stayed for a couple of years, and with the family, and we spent a happy life there. And I learned many things over there with the new people, new experience, all those things. So in the 2009 again, it is a problem in the economy, and the position went down. With that, so then my parent company asked me to relocate back to India. So then there is no choice, I had to relocate. So we all family came back to India, and we started a career in the same company. I continued my journey there, and with my technical ability I can able to succeed in some extent. After that I got promoted to the new levels. In there I am unable to do much because of incapable communication. So then I decided to go for some training and this thing, and that's not worked out. As the theme of the day says, do not wait for become a master to begin and become a master. So I was waiting for to become a master. So that was wrong thing. So today I have taken a decision to begin to become a master. So it is started journey from today to moving forward. And as I said in the beginning, the change. So with our involvement, we cannot do much changes. There's a natural change happening and biological change is happening in our life. But for inner thing, you want to change, you have to involve yourself to change yourself. So with that quote, I want to quote one of our great scientists and former president of our India, APJ Abdul Kalam said, so without your involvement, you didn't success. With your involvement, you can't make. So what was
your journey with us, and wish you all the best as you begin your Toastmaster journey as well. Moving on to the last speaker today, the evaluator is Toastmaster Shilpa. The speech is titled Phase by Phase. And please join me in welcoming Toastmaster Manoj.
If you are given an amazing opportunity, but you are not sure whether to take it or not, first say yes, then learn how to do it. This was what exactly happened to me a few days back on Tuesday evening when Ayappa called me and said, hey Manoj, you have not given your icebreaker speech yet, can you give it on this Friday? It reminded me of this quote and I said yes. Dear Toastmasters, I am Manoj. I'll be sharing my fast-forwarded life journey in a span of 5 to 7 minutes, and I've divided this into 3 phases: schooling, career and family. To begin with, I was born in a small town called Gokak. How many of you have heard of Gokak? Okay, quite a few. What's it famous for? Yes, both of them. And the famous poet V.K. Gokak also hails from there. So my father works in a government office. We moved from Gokak to Bangalore. He works at ISRO. This was a transferable job. And then he put us into Kendriya Vidyalaya. I did my schooling from 1st standard to 10th standard at Kendriya Vidyalaya, NAL. Then he got transferred to New Delhi. We all shifted our base from Bangalore to New Delhi. We thought, since we are all studied in Kendriya Vidyalaya, we knew Hindi very well. But only after going there, we realized that our Hindi was of no level. So on the first day when we were in New Delhi, we had gone out to buy some vegetables in the evening. We knew numbers up to 20, but when shopkeepers told 75, 51, 52, we were perplexed. We didn't know the actual price of the product. Then the very next day, my father brought the first standard Hindi numerical book from 1 to 100. We all sat and learned Hindi numbers from 1 to 100. Life was much simpler than now. So I did my 11th and 12th in the Kendriya Vidyalaya Coal Market in New Delhi. After that, I came back to Bangalore to do my usual process, CET entrance exam and then engineering admission. So I got into CMRIT, which is located close to ITPL. And then I enjoyed my 4 years of engineering. I studied more than 30 different subjects, none of which I used in my first job. So in the 4th year, I got placed in TCS. We all were a bunch of big gang over there who had got placed. So during those days, in 2005, TCS conducts huge campus placements. They combine 3-4 colleges and pull in 2,000 to 3,000 students, and they put in a tent and then said, okay, take the written test and interviews. Finally, I got placed in TCS. And this gave me an opportunity to go to Hyderabad for 3 months. It was a paid vacation for us. We were a big gang of 10 to 12 students from our same college. We were staying in a 3-star hotel, and every night we used to go out for dinner. So after the paid vacation, they put us to the actual location of Chennai. It was the opposite of vacation. Chennai is a beautiful city except for the weather. So I stayed there for a year and a half, then I decided to quit TCS. But during those days, TCS had a bond period of 2 years, and I was 4 months short. And they asked me to pay 60,000. So I obediently paid it and took my relieving and experience letter. Later on, when I came to college, I decided to do my higher studies. And when I came to that college, I came to know that there were a lot of other students who had broken the bond and then came, and they had got the relieving and experience letters without any hazards. I was among the very few rare idiots who paid the entire amount. So I came back to Bangalore and I started my MTech from IIITB College. That is in Electronic City opposite to Infosys. IIITB College, I had a very nice experience because the batch of students experience range of the students were from 0 to 10 years, and I got to learn a lot of new subjects in computer science. But this time I used it in my job. But I was graduating in the year 2009. 2009 was a very bad year for graduation. Any guesses why? Yeah, IT slowed down. Over that, what added to the challenge was I did not want to go back to a services-based company because I already had the experience over there. This time I wanted for a product-based company. But my college professors were putting pressure. Manoj, why are you not sitting for campus placements of service-based companies? Any recession is there, just go and write some company. But I was hell-bent upon not writing. Finally, in one of the off-campus rounds, I got selected in National Instruments. I am still there with the company and I enjoy my work. Coming to my last phase, my marriage and family. So in the year 2013, I got married to Dr. Anushay. She hails from Harihar. Question: what is the degree for a doctorate from Ayurvedic medicine? BAMS. I did not know even this before marriage. I thought only MBBS was everything, and I did not know that there was some field called Ayurvedic, homeopathy, Unani, etc. etc. So Later on, I came to know many other things about Ayurvedic, which is for a different speech. But for now, I'll stop here. About 2.5 years back, my son Mihir was born. He now goes to a play home that is near to my home. What amazes me about this play home is not what they teach over there, but how much they charge for it. So they charge about 45,000 for 10 months. And we are happy to send for 3 hours of peace at home. At least that's what my wife says. So what had happened was, this reminded me of my own school days when I was in Kendriya Vidyalaya. When I was in 1st standard to 5th standard, we just paid 15 rupees for 3 months. And then in 6th standard, they increased the fees from 15 rupees to 40 rupees. That was because a new subject called computer science was introduced in this school. And now we are all seeing what are the rates of this. But changes happen and we need to adapt the change. This reminds me of a quote from Brian Dyson who says, "Our life is a game where we juggle 5 balls at the same time. Work, friends, family, health and spirit. The only difference being work is a ball made of rubber, whereas friends, family, health and spirit are all made of glass." Over to you, Toastmaster.
We'll have a break for about 10 minutes. Sorry?
I think 15.
Okay, 15 minutes. So where's the, I think that's long. So we'll be back by say 7:47.
7:47.
7:47. Yeah.
Going fast.
That's okay.